Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and it is a pleasure to be here. I will acknowledge when we were last together almost 5 years ago, I had the privilege of speaking first. Now I speak 14th, but that's the proper way of the world that we live in. Why do I care about farm bills? Why do they matter? Well, I represent that part of Oklahoma that was the Great Dust Bowl and the Great Depression. And in the 1930 census, we had 14,000 people in my home county. We'll be lucky in the 2020 census if we've made it back to 4,000. A dramatic depopulation in the 30s, 40s, and then the drought of the 1950s. Why was that the challenge? Well, in the House, we don't have authority to dress Mother Nature and the weather to make it rain. That might be the other body. But setting the weather aside, bad policies in the teens and 20s led to the 30s. Not so great policy in the 60s and 70s led to the economic burndown of the 1980s. Our responsibility is not to follow in the footsteps of our predecessors. The chairman noted this is his 8th farm bill. I believe this is my 5th farm bill, starting as an apprentice to you and Chairman De La Garza not too many days ago. And I've tried to pay attention and learn from that. In quick sum, what are the issues that I believe we have to address in this farm bill? Well, it's the safety net to produce the food and fiber that makes sure that our consumers and our neighbors here at home and around the world have enough to eat, enough to wear. ARC and PLC were designed to be different programs. If you remember when we did the 2012 that became the 2013 that became the 2014 Farm Bill, wheat was $8 a bushel, corn was $7. The pundits in this town said there would never be another bad day in rural America. You don't need a farm bill. But we created a safety net knowing that there would be another bad day. Cash commodity prices are essentially half what they were when we last met. That adds to the importance of passing another farm bill. Again, ARC and PLC were designed for different purposes. That's why we had a choice. That's why producers could decide whether they thought prices would remain high forever. ARC was your route. Or if you thought perhaps someday we would have a price collapse as we have now, PLC was your route. But there was a difference. There was a difference. CRP, dramatic reduction in acres in the last farm bill. Why was that? Under the Budget Act of 1974, if we didn't move those numbers down to achieve the savings that the market decisions were going to drive, we wouldn't have had the resources for the safety net and the crop insurance programs. But now CRP needs to come back up. We need to send a signal to the commodity traders that we're not going to be at these production levels forever. Nutrition. No more issue controversial in my life than the nutrition section. I won't deny to you, I'm still waiting for the pilot projects that we set up in the last farm bill to yield their results, to have some basis to work from. But whatever we ultimately decide on nutrition, I would simply ask all my colleagues here, let's not make it more difficult for consumers who need the help to be able to buy their products. Let's make sure they have choices in where they can use those nutrition benefits. And let's give them as much flexibility in what they purchase. I don't want to have to stand behind some mother or some father who has to explain to their teenager or pre-teenager why they can't buy the same products everyone else is buying. I don't think that's fair. Again, my friends, it's wonderful to be with all of you. We have a responsibility to get our work done. I have faith that we will get our work done. But we'll have some of the most glorious, philosophical battles imaginable before we get to that point. But let's get to that point in a hurry. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yield back.